Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Austin Salas. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I help men overcome porn addiction, premature ejaculation, and any other sexual issue they may be experiencing. The topic of today's video comes after a conversation I was having with an old client of mine where we were discussing the different elements behind ejaculation control. One of the many things we agreed on was the fact that our minds are a very powerful ally in helping us achieve almost really about anything. And so, as a corollary of this common agreement, we asked, well, to what extent does the mind help us in controlling our arousal? And I said, well, it really depends on who you ask. But in my own personal opinion, I believe the mind plays a crucial role in allowing us to last longer. So we can begin by understanding a little bit about the relationship between the mind and the body. We know that they're constantly bouncing information off one another. The different thoughts that are produced can cause certain reactions in the body. And under certain circumstances, the body can also produce thoughts and feelings as well. So when it comes to being intimate, I believe one of the biggest obstacles that we face in lasting longer is being able to slow down our thoughts. Men who suffer from performance anxiety or PE usually report the proliferation of negative thoughts before any physical touch is made with their partners. So our thoughts are so powerful as so they can create different sensations in the body. If I start doubting my abilities, if I start doubting my skills, I can imagine different scenarios where things can go wrong during this intimate moment. And naturally, because of this thinking, the body goes into a stress response. We tense up, there's involuntary contractions. And because the body is registering stress, it's naturally going to want to alleviate itself. And so it would do so through ejaculation. So common sense would tell us if my negative thinking, my negative mental projections causes anxiety and my body to tense up, then the antithesis to that would be positive thinking will help me feel more relaxed and last longer. So let's explore this concept a bit further. The pure positive thinking or the expectation of positive results, i.e., a better sexual experience, will most definitely positively impact the body better than anxiety would. Something that really worked out for me in the early stages of my own journey was using my thoughts to make it a conscious effort to release tension in my body and to remind myself to slow down. Some men report using affirmations, mantras, or even visualizing themselves staying calm in the heat of the moment. And while I do encourage this, the mind is used as a means to connect us to our body. We don't only want to be using our minds. The goal is to develop a harmonious connection between mind and body. Now, with that being said, it actually brings me to an issue I see a lot, not only in the sexual health space, but in many different communities. And that's that the aim is to develop a positive mindset. And once we have this mindset, it means we no longer have to work. We no longer have to put any real effort in. And so, in order for us to attain a mindset, for it to be solid and to be impenetrable, it needs to be tested over and over again. And this takes a lot of time for us to actually develop it and to use it effectively. So while our mindset is extremely valuable, it shouldn't be the end all for us. Now, the question remains, can you control ejaculation with your mind? I believe it's absolutely possible. The mind is an incredible tool, and used correctly, it can actually allow us to last longer. Now, through the means of meditation, and I'm talking about extended periods, years of this special practice, one can actually achieve this. With that being said, do I recommend this route of purely mental exercise to overcome premature ejaculation? I do and I don't. I believe meditation is fundamental to our growth as human beings, yet I don't believe that we should begin and end with the mind. Using myself as a case study, along with many of the men that I've worked with thus far, if we really want to be successful in controlling our arousal, it is absolutely imperative that we work on our emotional center. Our feelings are much stronger than our thoughts. That's why it's so difficult to control ejaculation with our mind. Instead, what we want to do is gain a deep understanding of our emotional state. What is it that's causing my anxiety, my nervousness? Through this internal inquiry, we would find that behind each of these emotions is a story, a narrative, a belief, a memory, which needs to be addressed so that we can release these emotions, rewrite the narrative, and experience something different in the body. And as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately for a lot of us, sex and intimacy triggers us into a stress response. And there are myriad reasons as to why this transpires, leading me to believe that it's through working with our emotions and resolving them that we can move out of stress and into homeostasis. Once we have homeostasis, once the body is calm, relaxed, there is a mind and body connection. It's no longer the mind forcing the body to relax, the body just is. And this is when the necessity of having to control our arousal with our mind ceases to be of importance. This is why, out of all the approaches to improving sexual health and sexual performance, I believe the most effective way to resolve these issues is through hypnosis. Hypnosis takes place in the conscious, the rational mind, and the subconscious, where all of our emotions are stored. In working on these two aspects of the mind simultaneously, we can begin to reason and change our perspective, as well as clearing out the negative emotions like anxiety, like stress, like trauma, and making room for resolution. Once the negative emotions associated with performance anxiety, or PE, are dealt with and resolved, you begin to have different outcomes, different intimate experiences. What happens on top of being able to last longer or satisfy your partner is that the space in our subconscious that once held trauma, that once held stress and anxiety, is now replaced with confidence and ease. And with time, this begins to show up in every other aspect of your life. And just to recap everything once again, can we control arousal using the power of our minds? Technically, yes. We can use it in conjunction with the body to consciously relax. We want to be careful because, as I mentioned, we can create involuntary tension trying to force our will upon our bodies. I believe that even better than just using mindset would be to combine this with our ability to feel into our bodies and create mind and body coherency, meaning being aware of where we hold tension, being aware of where I'm feeling anxious and where in my body do I feel it. As beginners, using our minds is a good start, yet looking forward, our goal shouldn't be pure mind control as opposed to tuning into our bodies, as this becomes a much easier route to controlling our arousal. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, share, and if you found something valuable in this, please subscribe. It helps me reach many other men out there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again.